Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Today's video is actually going to be a little bit of a throwback. I wanted to share with you guys the beginning of my sewing journey because that is not on this channel. So I actually pulled from a video I did a long time ago. I re-edited it, put it all together, and this shows the very beginning of my journey from the first dress I made to what happened when I was on this long break, getting pregnant, and my whole story is here as well as all of the beginning projects, a little behind the scenes of some of these projects as well. We all start somewhere and this is where I started. But let's get to the video. Again, I hope you guys enjoy my story. While I'm working on bigger things, this will give you guys a little bit more of an insight of where it all began. My sewing journey begins in late 2019 when a friend donated her sewing machine to me when she knew she wasn't going to have time to help me with the business idea. Excited to attempt to make a dress for a photo shoot, I went to Goodwill to find material. I actually shared this project in a video on my old channel at that time, so I'll keep it brief here. I copied a dress that I had on hand for the pattern and I used a bedsheet and curtain to make this dress. The materials I used were horrendous and I laugh looking back at this, but I'm so glad I did it because it definitely changed my life. I will never forget this black dress. It was the very first time, literally in my entire life, that I ever tried to put together a dress, and this is how it turned out. Is it perfect? No, but I love the fact that I just did it, and it started this whole journey in the first place. The dress was too big for my friend Jamie Lee, but we pinned it and thus began my love for making dresses for a photo shoot. Perhaps soon I'll consider making this dress and comparing my progress now over 5 years later. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. At this point, I was hooked. I immediately wanted to get into the next dress, and so I started to play around with another bedsheet as well as whatever random material I could find. I started to invest a little bit into this new sewing journey of mine, getting some new shears and pins and all kinds of things like boning. With the bedsheet, I just undid all the seams just to get the most out of it. Felt like I'd been doing it for years, even though this was literally my second dress. This one was really poorly made as well. I didn't do circle skirts at the time, I just kind of turned a long bedsheet into a gathered waist. I honestly really loved the vibe I was getting at. I don't even know how I made the bodice, but somehow I came up with some sort of pattern. I honestly don't remember after these amount of years that have gone by. Alright, so here's a rough draft of the top piece. This part is inside out. I'm trying to get an idea of where to put the boning and cut a little bit of the waist. There's a little too much on the waist. I've yet to add the boning to that part because I forgot actually before making this video. We'll put a boning straight down the middle like that. I added the material over that one. I've yet to add it over these. So that is an idea of how it's going so far. Don't ask. Don't ask. And now I added a kind of mock-up of the boning that will eventually go right underneath. It's good to go on trying to sew it all up. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Okay. Wish me good luck. I'm about to sew on the cup. I'm like nervous because I don't really want to screw it up, but I feel like I pinned it well enough. So we're gonna see how it came out. I had to keep the pins in while sewing because it's hard to line up something that's curved. I have a feeling I screwed this up. I'm scared. Yep, I screwed it up. Oh, okay, right here. I don't know if you can tell. There is tulle there. Okay, you can't really tell in the video. I just have to undo that and re-sew it. Doesn't help that I picked the hardest thing there is for my second dress, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna undo it and then we're gonna re-sew it. have put on all the boning. I put on the top part right here. I haven't done any like edges or anything like that. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do for the edges, but I'm kind of thinking of doing a kind of trim like that, but it would have this stuff over it. So essentially it would look like that. Wish me luck. I have a perfectly sewed in piece like that to then stick the boning in. Then I will align it underneath the bra like that, and then I will sew both sides down. If someone asked me, Stephanie, do you know what you're doing? I'd be like, nope, I don't. I hope it comes out on the other side. Don't know what I'm doing. Wish me luck. This is really hard. This is a really dumb idea. I made it way too thin. There's no comfort room. There's nothing, but I got it in. And you know what? And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I got it in, guys. I got it in. It's in. Officially in. That's how it looks. In. This will not fit me, by the way. Nope. No way. No way, Jose. I'm testing it out again. Like I mentioned earlier, this part up here, sorry, the camera's not on it, is not finished yet, so it's kind of just chilling. I've yet to close it up and bring it down. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that yet to make it seamless underneath, but we'll see. Besides that, I've decided to do something like this. It's not gonna look that thick. It's just gonna be really thin, flattened fabric. But I'm really liking how this came out. It's all wrinkled, but whatever. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do my signature, my new signature, which is this crown trim, or if it would be weird because I have the lace. I'm going to stop on the bodice, and now I'm working on the skirt. Progress. Still debating about this. Don't think I want to do it. We'll see. This is the skirt. Obviously it is not attached, so you see all the extra here, which I kind of like the extra. I mean, what do you think? I ended up having a long pause on that dress because we bought a home. We don't currently live in that house as I make this video. However, these are really great memories, and it's a part of my story of when I was in the middle of creating my second dress. So we stopped, paused, packed, and then unpacked into the new house.
I'm a homeowner now.
We've actually moved a ton of times in our relationship. It's kind of crazy. Pretty much it's our thing to be in a U-Haul together, and I guess it's funny. But hopefully someday I'll be able to settle in one place. Anyway, let's get back to the project. Here I was working on it diligently. I added some straps and then I threw on a zipper. It wasn't the best, but looking back at this project, I feel like I learned so much just from doing it, you know? Okay, just a couple little things left, but it's almost done. It's inside out right now. I did a lot of sewing, so the only thing that I have left at this point is to finish off the zipper, and then I'm going to cut off the tops of the zippers. I'm gonna add a hook and eye to the top part. Since the padding areas were kind of I added these tulle sleeves to kind of hold it up. Since I didn't sew some of this stuff before, because I added it, I'm not able to put it on the inside of the cup, which is probably what I would have wanted to do, but it's okay. Just now I did sew a slit shut so that it wasn't all the way open to the top, so that it does open, and I'm gonna leave it that way just in case I decide I like it. So let's see the grand reveal. Also, I must mention that since it is the coronavirus pandemic time, not when I started this, but now, I won't be able to have a model it off anytime soon. Let's see if I can at least zip it. Really nervous to be zipping it because I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna zip stuff up into it. Almost zipping the whole thing. I'm like so excited to see this come together. Yay! Oh no! Oh no! Look how off that is. I tried so hard to make sure it was lined up. Look at that. That's beautiful. Good job, Stephanie. You failed. Well, you only live once. Well, okay. That's okay. That's all right. It's what it is. So I'm pretty excited that it's finally looking finished. Let's put it on the dress form. Hello, coming to you with my green shirt. I am in my studio right now. I've done a little bit of changing things up. Here's the thing, my channel is always suffering. I don't make money from it. Also, my hair seems to be suffering. Then I had to ask myself, why do I have a channel? Why do I want to still pursue my channel? Why? What is the why? Before I answer that question, let me take you back to a huge part of my story. In March 2020, I ended up hitting my lowest of lows. I would look at myself in the mirror and I hated what I saw. I was drinking soda every single day and I was getting all of my happiness from sugar. It all caught up with me and I started to feel really tired. I knew that I had to make a difference, but it was really hard for me to even make this video. I remember I just couldn't even finish it. I'm barely holding on there. This is clearly not my size. My back arches way too much. So as you can see, the back of me, just a lot of extra skin here, or extra fat, I should say. I knew I needed to do something about my health, so I ended up talking with my husband and we decided to do no sugar for 30 days. That ended up jump-starting my health journey, but was also the reason why I took a huge pause in sewing. During this time, I really dedicated myself to lose weight, and I hope that it can inspire someone. Let's hope that every time I update, I'm looking and feeling better. This is my body today. Looks like it's at 29. I made it. I made it. Here are my results. I weigh 145.6 today. Looks like I'm at 28 and a half. After all of that effort I put into it, I ended up having so much more energy. I felt better and I was able to clean up the house more often. And I remember just feeling so inspired to just do my very best. And although I wasn't sewing or anything at the time, I remember this was just a huge part of my journey because it's what led me to wanting to become a mother. I ended up becoming pretty lonely and isolated and a little depressed in 2020. All right, here it is. I told my husband, all right, let's try for a family. And that's where the story leads to. But before we get into that, we need to rewind back to that question. Why do I want to still pursue my channel? Why? What is the why? Okay, now we're back in the middle of my health journey, but here's me answering the question. And honestly, because I love creating content, I miss it whenever I'm not doing it. And I've fallen so far from the editing game, I need to figure something else out. I need to figure out what gets me excited. Honestly, beautiful dresses get me excited. Over here, I have this idea. So I made this top. Yes, I made this top. No, it does not fit me. Even though I thought I made it in my size. I should have put a bra, my bra, on her.
I didn't think that through.
At this point in my journey, I started to explore ideas. Little did I know I would end up on another pause from my dressmaking, but it was really fun to look around and just figure out what I could make. I ended up making a dress out of the black fabric actually, and that's actually something that I'll show on my throwback series. but it was fun to just grab fabric and see what I could do. I like to collect dresses for photo shoots. It gets me excited, creative ideas. I had a friend like donate, I had my sister donate a couple things, and I had a plan to use it for my business. However, that plan kind of died down, and I just have a ton of dresses, if you can't tell, that deserve beautiful photo shoot. Wow, my hair is really bad. But my next step that I truly want to take is to get better at dressmaking and to learn some new patterns, some draping and all of that. All right guys, over and out. All right, here it is. I'm nervous because I've never done this before. We're gonna do it. And it's okay if it's not the right timing. I'm trying to get myself pumped up for like, it's okay. That means the right timing is the next time. I don't know, or the next time. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I did it and I'm nervous. I just peed in a cup. I hope I did it right. I was just so nervous. I was like shaking, putting the cap back on because I'm just thinking like, did I do this right? Did I screw up? I'm just nervous to get a no, I guess. Today is December 8th, 2020. Just want something good for 2020. Okay, I'm like nervous because I have the stick. Okay, so there's nothing. But you know, I mean, could be early. I kind of want to cry because it's like, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe it'll show up. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know, we'll see. On the neckline, so I'm trying to figure out the best place I can. You can watch that video if you want. It's already on YouTube. I posted a long time ago. Otherwise, I'm going to continue the story in what I did after the making of this dress. Alright, so please ignore how bad my acne is right now. I'm on to a new dress. Oh my gosh, you can see the bra back there. Now I drew this one based off of an image I saw a while back because it was the style I wanted to go for using the curtains that came with the house. At the time, this is what I drew. That's kind of how I imagined the dress being. On this side, I drew the different pieces. We've got the under layer and the outer layer. On top of all of that, I had purchased this pattern a while back. This one particular right here has a similar top that I would probably want to use, and also the skirt, but I probably won't really use the pattern. Yeah, I never ended up using that pattern. I did try it out. It was way too big, but I figured I'd leave this in the story because it's a part of my journey and how I learned. But I could, it's an option. I have all of the pattern pieces cut and I have the directions here. I've never fully followed a pattern. I've actually never done it. I kind of get how it's done, and it's pretty similar to the fact that I was creating my own patterns, and I'm kind of going backwards. You think you would have started here. The sizing on this was really confusing. I was just going based off of dress sizes, but then it tells you the body measurements, and the body measurements are way off. So basically, I ended up nixing this whole thing and moved on and found different fabric, but this was still a part of my little process. Okay, so I have the under bodice finally in the new fabric that I had to go to Goodwill to get. Here's a little bit, some leftovers. There's the rest of the chunk. Now I'm working with this. These are the curtains that came with our house. This is one of the panels. I just figured out the length. Probably gonna have it barely touching the floor. I did put my dress form to be the height of me on my tippy toes because I like long dresses. I went to the store to pick up a couple things that I thought could help me as I practice and learn how to create my own bra cups, because I didn't want to have to buy the cups and the underwire. I looked up stuff on YouTube figuring out how to make it myself. One was to buy foaming pad. Didn't have the time to go and deal with that. I wanted to try something a little bit easier to get and cheaper instead of having them roll it out and cut it, and you know. I ended up finding this at Walmart. Okay, I would not recommend any of these things that I'm using. However, this is how I learned, and that's why I wanted to include this in there. But this stuff does not work very well for cups. I figured it is what it is at this point. I also got some poster paper to create my own bodice block, basic bodice block, and make a bodice block according to my current measurements. I'm gonna try this out because it's a really affordable metal wire that I was able to get from Walmart. It's not the thickest on its own. Also, I would not recommend this either. It's very flimsy, but you live and you learn. And then I got electrical tape. I wanted to be able to smooth out the ends of it with something that isn't gonna rip through anything I create. Hey, out, out. I gotta get my cat out. Okay, so I haven't really been recording each little thing since it's not a tutorial. I got to a point without the sleeves so far. So I put a petticoat under it this time because I was trying it out without a petticoat. You can't actually see it, can you? Back it up here. I can really lift it. Kind of what it looks like so far. This is the dress so far with the petticoat. I made the back long so it could be like a train. Mistakes might have been made because it's really long and it doesn't flow. The problem is the same problem as the last dress. I tend to have this problem apparently. The mistake that I feel like I keep making is this sort of gaping, and the problem is because I'm trying really hard to put the extra space only in the cup and not in the rest of it. So I don't know what I'm doing to like screw this whole process up. My problem is, first of all, I have this like fat under this one arm. I don't like strapless. Another thing I'm noticing is it's not really holding the way I wanted it to, but in some areas this part is really tight and then forcing the material behind it. It has boning in it. Like there's boning here and then there's boning like on the side to hold it up. I'm just not digging the loose pleated look because it just kind of makes me feel like a weird shape because it's just not hugging me the way I would want it to. I would have to debate if I just want to add straps, but it's gonna have sleeves. That's my problem. It just feels like it's falling. The outer layer with the pleats are like just loosening instead of being tight like I thought I made it. For example, right here wants to fold over. That's because the inner liner doesn't line up, but I know it's also because I use really crappy fabric. Underneath is this shiny layer, so I forgot all about that. I was gonna do like a slit, which this one had a slit. I just have to hem it, and then I was going to split this one as well, which I'm just gonna undo the seam but that is the current dilemma of this dress. Hey everyone, I have just decided of a new dress idea I thought would be great, and it's just using really cheap fabric that I bought at Goodwill, and by fabric I mean another bed sheet. Here is an example. That's actually a really long skirt. It's not going to be that long, so I picked that one. However, I did have two similar situations in a different sheet. Now this particular one just ripped off the tag, but it's a queen size sheet for $4.99. Because Goodwill, and I love Goodwill. I'm really excited to see how this dress turns out. When you go to Goodwill to look for these types of sheets, they always seem to have them. People get rid of this because it's just outdated. This one's also a queen, also $5. This one is a twin, $4. I'm telling you, super cheap. Another thing I once got was this. It's like a tablecloth or something. It's pretty thick tulle. This was actually $10. You see that price difference? Okay, I took another test, but I don't want my husband to know. There's nothing. Literally nothing. Okay, so you're not surprised I'm still awake, so let's get over that. This table got really messy from starting this project. This is my idea. I also kind of wanted to put the lines on the cup seams as well, but I literally only have this much left. This is for the boning, aka zip ties. So these are all the channels. I love the look of lines. I had to see it, so I cut them all. So just imagine like it'll look like that. Why are my boobs so big? It's like a massive amount. It's so annoying. Anyway, so I figured like, why not? It's literally a $5 sheet that I'm using. Not gonna look the prettiest on the inside because it's literally one layer, and I am done for the night because my back hurts. Look at the mess that I've made. I should probably sweep. Like it's pretty crazy in here each project, but literally I'll just like clean it. I'll sweep it and everything, clean it up and start fresh every time I have new ideas. I hope this turns out the way I imagine. I don't really have much left to do. All right, so been working on the bodice, forgot to record. I put in all of the channels. I sewed them all in. I used green stitch here, so it kind of gives it a bit of a color. I don't know. I just did the liner. The bodice is coming along. Right now I am working on attaching liner because the original pattern has just a liner for that middle. But as I was making it, I was like, wait, this is a dress and it's gonna be like one thin layer of fabric trying to hold up the skirt. I realized I needed a little bit more, some reinforcements. I couldn't really sew it in that way because then the stitches would go right through and I had already created these. That's why I could not stitch it with a sewing machine. So now I'm hand sewing it to turn out like that. Not the prettiest, not the most creative, but I figured that would at least kind of help it not fray so much if I just kind of looped it. All right, so my cycle is like all over the place. It's almost time to check another pregnancy test, which it's dumb for me to take this, to be honest, because it's a cheapie and I just got a negative yesterday. All right, it's still going. So far negative, has like a minute left. I mean, it's literally like no sign at all whatsoever. I just had to know, you know, like it was the last one I have and I was like, I'm just gonna keep wanting to take it, so might as well just take it. There's nothing. Kind of like what I suspected. I think that maybe I have a long cycle, that I didn't actually ovulate when I thought I ovulated. Okay, I'm a little shaky because I ran. Now I'm like trying to breathe. I ran to go get my phone because I came in here, I just got home, and I took a pregnancy test and it's showing 2 lines. Like there wasn't even a pause. Like there's literally 2 lines. It has 2 lines. I thought I'd have a different reaction, but I'm just kind of in shock. Oh my gosh. I'm scared to take another one. I don't want to take another one and then it's negative. I just want to live with the positive. Okay, I'm back, but I'm getting really, really nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, because I'm afraid it's lying to me. We're taking the second one, which is a digital. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking nervous. That's 2. There's literally no questioning it. And I'm just so nervous. I'm nervous for this digital test. I'm making this video because if the digital one says no, then we got an inconsistency going on. I'm so nervous. The result will appear within 3 minutes and as little as a minute. But that other one is like, there's no question about it. That's why. But it's like a cheap version, so I don't know. Even though people have total luck on cheap. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. You can't really see it, can you? It says yes. Oh my gosh. 2 of them said yes so far. I don't want to lose the baby. Wait, I don't know if I've taken this in completely. My husband has no idea. I had told him I just felt a little different. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If this is... I have to schedule an appointment with a doctor eventually, but like... It says yes, and it says yes twice, and I've been getting no's literally like... All my no... I had a faint line the other day, and I was like, that is a faint line. And then it was nothing. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to feel. Gosh, I don't know how to feel. I'm like so scared that it's just gonna go away, like, and that I'm wrong. Oh my gosh. He's gonna be the first person I'm gonna tell though. Should I take a 3rd one just to like triple check? You know what, why not? Because I accidentally opened it, so we're gonna do it anyway. Okay, so that one's making its way across. It's already showing up the lines. I'm just flipping out right now. Are you kidding me right now? I'm just so scared. Like, I'm scared of like a miscarriage, or I'm scared of like a chemical pregnancy or something. There's no denying this 3rd one either. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got to like take a picture. You work hard. You work every day. Open your gift. I literally took 3.
They all say yes.
Look at your mug. You're all nervous. Hey everyone, so check out this look. I think it's a beautiful look. I actually slept in this last night and I've had it on all day. I'm surprised it's just still chilling. Anyways, I have a new idea based off of these curtains I found at Goodwill. I did this super rough sketch. Now it's not the prettiest sketch because I don't really sketch, but anyway, you get the point. The flowers are an idea. I really don't know how to place them unless I saw it in person, so I just kind of drew whatever. Otherwise, this like peach pink color was the color of the fabric. I kind of wanted to stick with the same style that I've been experimenting with, the same style as the dress back there, with the sort of cupped bodice, the boning, and then considered doing this one with the romper underneath and allow the fabric to just be a big giant skirt. Now this fabric, I don't know if you can tell the color of it, but it is this long giant scarf-like curtain. Come on in, baby. What you doing? You want to hang out? Where are you? Hi, sweet. Okay, I guess he wants to hang out. If you look up close, you can see it has texture in it, just that wrinkled look. This one happened to be $10 and they were selling 2 of them. Unfortunately, they didn't sell it as a pair. So $20 gets me this. Material wise, we are at 20 bucks, but I think this is plenty for a very flowy, beautiful skirt. I also at the dollar store got more ribbon because this was like the color of it. I also found this petticoat. You can see it's right there. It got really wrinkly. It's like $10, but I figured it was worth it. Okay, so for the idea, I have these flowers. See, I got these thinking that the color of it was more on the pink vibe. It's not, but these still look pretty with it. Don't get me wrong. Now these flowers are a little bit, oh, it's missing one. I can just like take these tops off and then put like some gems inside of there and then be able to stitch a stack of these flowers on. And I just think they'd be so pretty. These are just ideas. We'll see. For the romper, it's questionable because I'm gonna have to dig through my fabric to see what fabric I would use. Obviously, considering I have these pieces that they all kind of have that sort of vibe to it, I just have to figure out like how I want to mix. Oh my gosh, my cat. Okay, it's a new day and I changed a couple things. I kind of tested some ideas out and then I had made this, which would be a cup, and then I was going to just cover the seams with strips to create that look, and then I realized I didn't want that and I should have layered this with a different solid fabric. So I have created instead, because the past idea I did this batting type of material.
This is gonna go a really long way.
I just didn't like it. It's too flimsy. I have the cups. I also have half the strap. They're gonna be tied straps. The finished cup look before it gets sewn in. That's that. Right now I am about to iron on these seams so that they look beautiful. Alright, here is the current state. We're doing the living room now. We did some of the dining room. Darren's working on the kitchen. Hi! Do a wide angle here. We've got some of our furniture over here, the rest of our flooring right here. Just your dad. I think. You're alright. Okay, now we're at Bernie Falls in Bernie, California. And it's insane. I'm out here waiting for Darren. I think that's him coming. Yep, there he is, way down there. There he is. He ran back to the car because we were like a quarter mile so that he could get us water.
That's a kick. You don't feel it. Yep, that was a kick. Uh-huh. Another kick. Oh, that sounds great.
All done. This side.
Is that your baby? Little Aiden with his first car ride. He passed out and spit out the pacifier, but the pacifier we had to use. This is fidgety, but they put him right to sleep. He passes out hard in the car seat.
Legs, you know. And sat there for a while, but boy, he just doesn't seem to be enough. Now in bed, they've got these wraps around my legs that move, you know, in and out.
baby boy. He's curious as can be. What's out there in the world? Curious baby boy. He's curious of the world. What's out there in the world? Curious little boy. Love you. Yeah, love you. Big yawn. It's just a curious little boy. You tired of lifting your head? Bye-bye. He's just asleep. Testing out the carrier. Hey, are you a happy boy? He's just a little white whale on the go. Yeah. Babies. Hi, baby. Oh, you're too cute. Hey everyone, it's been a while since I made a video because life got crazy after I had my baby and I never even finished editing the video I was working on when I was pregnant. Today I decided that I wanted to try out this old pattern I had and I couldn't remember what I used it for and how it came out, to be honest. So I just thought I'd play with it again. It is more of the style that I like anyway. I'm going to be using this fabric I found at Goodwill for $2 and I think it has like maybe a yard or two. Really beautiful mustard yellow. I still have hope that I will be able to continue to sew, even though it's been very difficult being a first-time mom to a newborn. He takes up a lot of my time that I haven't figured out how to use my time to still squeeze in stuff like this. I'm going to be starting to take advantage of my husband taking care of the baby during evenings or weekends. I do night feedings and day when he's at work. If I can jump back to sewing here and there, that might actually help me feel like I'm still doing things for myself and not just forgetting about myself and then just like completely putting all my time to the baby. That being said, let's get to this project. Let's go. Okay, hi. So I've actually been working on this dress. So I wanted to show where I'm at in it in case past footage didn't make sense. The inside is horrendous because I didn't put too much effort into cleaning it up, but I did try. I forgot to add something that covers that to match what's going on here. So this is a much cleaner choice that I went with, but I forgot to do it here before sewing everything together. Also, I use foam paper for the cups. So anyone who is on a budget, I would recommend using foam paper because it really does give them shape without spending an arm and a leg on buying these bra cups over and over and over when you're practicing. I shouldn't say arm and a leg. I'm sure they're not even that expensive. I just didn't want to waste it on practice dresses, so I didn't buy it yet, and then I wanted to make this one. But anyway, so on the inside we have this liner in here that I just put in, and I literally just sewed it to this band that I had created on the skirt. I sewed it sort of, it's hard to tell, but like I sewed it down that way and then flipped it inside out. And so the inside of the dress is the ugly side, so that the outside, if it's revealed in any way, you know, wouldn't have like the sort of stuff going on. So I didn't know when I got a serger, my husband let me get it for my birthday. I was like really thankful, but I didn't realize you needed to get 3 or 4 of the same color thread to get that consistency. I just thought one thread did the trick. literally, that's how much I didn't know about sergers. I just knew what they did and I wanted one, but I never actually worked with one. Anyway, so I have 3 different colors, and that results in the edges that I serged to have, like, this one has yellow, this one has the black, because I couldn't find the right thread that worked well with the serger. You can use regular small ones, but I had bought serger, made for the serger anyway. So I have this added to the straps to make bows, and I just have to add one to the back of it, but I haven't tested the size before putting on the zipper because of the way that I did this, which I actually hate this. It's a ribbon, so it got really messed up along the way, and I just did not want to undo it because I was so frustrated. So I figured whatever, it goes under the arm, and once it's like flesh against the skin, maybe no one will notice. The idea is there, and I think that's all that matters. But yeah, this is the back of the dress that I have to put the zipper once I get the size right. And so literally the only thing left is a zipper, the other ribbon to add to the back so they can tie together on the shoulders, and then to hem the bottom. Now the bottom is technically not going to be hemmed at the moment. This fabric right here is super thin, as you can imagine, and it's very, very delicate, and it frays very easily. I didn't want to have to like hem it by folding it twice or anything. I wanted it to be like a tiny little hem sewn perfectly across. So I'm going to actually wait to get the rolled hem foot for my sewing machine. But otherwise, it's pretty much almost done. That is where this dress is at. I'm so stoked about it, and I hope to do a photo shoot with it, and I will include that in this video. I'll try to remember to record a little bit more, maybe. I don't know, probably not. All right, that's pretty much the end of the beginning of my journey, if that makes sense. That's the last thing I did before I started posting and editing and putting things on YouTube. And that's what you'll see in the throwback series that's coming out every so often. I'm thinking maybe once a month. I will be working on current stuff for the most part. Most of my videos should be current stuff, but I have a big project that I am working on and a lot of amazing dress designs that I have in my head, and I want to put them out here. The throwback series will just be little filler videos every now and then, just to share with you guys some little flashbacks to the beginning days of Stephanie Harper Designs. I feel like I didn't truly get to share that with you guys. I feel like I was robbed from it because of my really bad experience trying to start YouTube on an old channel. And anyway, you may already know the story. I moved a lot as well, and I've been all over the place. I didn't really get to just genuinely enjoy posting at the time that I thought. So even if it's years later, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it nonetheless, and you'll get to see more of these fun older projects as well. But stick around for what's next, and thank you guys so much for watching.